You kicked me in the face with
was
massive
boots, yeah.
big old feet.
It was just, I was in it, you know? I was in it.
The heads of the council families will try to kill you and your sister. Whoever does wins the high seat and controls everything.
Everything?
The world.
You're telling me you didn't know your fiancé was in a devil cult?
Listen, if you don't do exactly what I say, we are going to die.
Hi, ladies.
Hello.
I love that the sister relationship is at the heart of this movie, but how did being handcuffed to each other just help you with that sister dynamic? Did it get you into the roles quickly, on and off screen?
Yes.
Yeah. It was painful, wasn't it? We would be running and trying to do stuff and clanging, and I had bruises all up and down my arms.
Yeah, I didn't, so.
Yeah,
Then who was
you
pulling?
because you kept punching me, bashing me.
It keeps you in close proximity, though. So, you know, I was reserved.
As if
I kept it.
You were not reserved.
You gotta
What
be
do you
quiet.
mean reserved?
I was watchful and mindful of my space. So,
No.
and mostly I just got to see her up close. If you watch B-roll, you watch me just watching her.
No,
Just watching her.
realize Kathryn's a liar.
I'm coming up to her. It's like I have this dog. I'm like a dog. Like, what's she gonna do? Where's she going? And then like being really annoying. Like, come on, let's play fetch. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? That was the vibe. Yeah.
So you really took on the little sister role.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Wow, I really love that.
Mm-hmm.
Samara, I was so tired for you knowing that this movie picked up right when the last left off.
Yeah.
So how did you get into that mindset of the pure exhaustion Grace would be feeling after having just survived?
Just being around me.
Just being around Kathryn made me exhausted. I didn't have to act at all.
No. No, it was fun.
No, yeah, I kind of likened her to a soldier, you know? I was like, okay, if I'm at war and you just have to keep going and there's no other option, you just gotta tap into like some sort of adrenaline reserve and just get after it. But yeah, I don't know how she's doing it.
Yeah, I was like, this girl has been going.
I know, right?
Yeah.
She should have been dead multiple times.
She needs to go to the hospital.
She should be studied.
Yes, she needs to be. And for you, Kathryn, you know, your
Third one, she's an alien. Right?
blood explosion. No, you're good. Blood explosions to the face are definitely something that Faith was not used to. So did Samara give you any tips on like how to react when those happen, or did you?
Well,
have
first
enough?
of all, I would never admit that I don't know something. So no, I was like, yeah, I got this. This is it. But I watched her do it the first day. Like that was the big blood one for you.
Yeah.
And she just, you know, took it like a pro. No complaining. Eyes open. Blood in the
open.
eyes.
Okay.
Looked beautiful. The red really makes them pop. And I was like,
Beautiful. Look unhinged, but sure.
unhinged, but still stunning.
Yes.
And so I just was like, okay, don't mess up. Just don't mess up. That's kind of my
How
personality.
does the amount of blood compare to Abigail?
I think this is way beyond Abigail.
Yeah.
Way more. There was more like goo in that one in Abigail, but in this one it was every day. You know, we start covered in blood. The movie starts off insane.
Yeah,
And
it
we
really
just
does.
add to it. So the explosions were much bigger on this movie.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of Abigail, you guys have both worked with the Radio Silence guys a couple of times now. So what is it about them and their filmmaking that keeps you coming back?
They're just so collaborative. They really listen and hear you, and they I think what I really like about them is they let me be a bit weird.
Yeah.
Like they'll be okay with making the slightly strange choice that I think makes the movie what it is, rather than trying to play some like mainstream down the line action figure. They're like, yeah, be a bit odd, and I think that's what I love about working with them.
And being odd and weird is just like doing what's true in your heart, and it makes you want to be an actor. It makes you like feel appreciated. So all I want to do is like make them laugh and entertain them, and they receive it. And that's why everyone is amazing in this movie. Like Sean Hoddessy's unhinged in this film, but it's because he brought something and they're like, we love it, do more. And so then he gets to bring more, and it's the same thing. Like that's how I feel. Like you just
They trust.
they trust you. Yeah.
Well, as an audience member, it makes it so much fun. But I need to talk about your instantly iconic scream that we fell in love with in the first film. It was so satisfying to hear it again.
Sure.
Insane.
So what's
right?
the process like to nailing that every time? And then did you guys compare screams as sisters?
Compare? Get out of here. Don't even bring that up. It's a real sore spot.
You've got an excellent scream.
No,
love.
it's
Yes,
just
you
a
do.
scream, you know? Hers, I don't know where that came from.
I don't either. I don't know. It came out. I honestly, I don't have any tips or anything. But I do like that on the internet someone called it a yodel. I really like that. Someone was like, I can't wait to hear Sam's yodel. It really
It's
makes me
amazing.
laugh.
It like scratches a part of your brain. I don't know. It's like, I'm sure
No.
it's painful to do,
No.
but again, thank you
It's
as
fine.
an audience member.
I could do it all day. It's fine.
Never heard one like it anywhere.
Absolutely. Okay, something else that's iconic is, of course, Grace's wedding dress, and that dress has gone through some things.
Yeah.
So, can you talk about how much bloodier it gets and how it felt to put it back on again?
Yeah, it was. We were trying to figure out when we were writing it, well, when Guy and Ryan were writing it, like, how do we get her back in the iconic dress? Do we get her in the dress? Does she wear something that, like, Faith has? But everyone wanted to have that moment
In the dress.
of Grace back in the wedding dress. So it was really exciting when we figured it out. And on the day when we were shooting it and putting it back on, it was really exciting. It felt like a superhero putting their, like, armor back on, you know?
Yeah, that's exactly what I got. I'm like, this is like her superhero
Yeah,
suit
yeah,
at
yeah.
this point. Maybe that's the secret to helping you with the exhaustion was the dress.
Just put it really uncomfortable when it was
Makes you want to get out of it.
Definitely. So I heard that there was a little accidental hitting to the face that happened.
I love it.
between you two.
so many. Accidental? I don't know.
Just like, it was
Was it an
questionable.
accident, Kathryn?
You know, I like when it's about me, and I just had to make it about me all the time.
There's
No, it
the
was an
little
accident.
sister coming
It was an
back.
It
accident.
looked bad.
How often do things like that happen on set, especially when these kills are so physically demanding?
Yeah.
It didn't happen when we were doing a killing. That's the problem.
It was hard. We were handcuffed, so you really can't.
We were rolling down a hill or something, and I like got up and hit her in the face.
You
And
kicked me in the face with
it was
massive
boots, yeah.
big old feet.
It was just I was in it, you know. I was in it.
Yeah.
The kills are quite choreographed, though. So if you mess up, you know, it's bad. But so no, that didn't really happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad everyone is all good. Now, as two actresses who have definitely earned your titles as iconic scream queens, what was it like getting to be in the presence of an OG like Sarah Michelle Gellar?
The greatest.
Yeah.
You lost your mind.
Did
This is getting out of hand. I didn't lose my mind.
You lost your mind.
I think it just hit me like as a fan, I was like, wow, she's in this movie. This is like 3 generations. It's like it's a very big deal, I think, to the fans of horror to have everyone in this little universe. So
You fell on the ground.
well, I hit you in the face on purpose.
I knew it.
The truth comes out.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, my last question is, how did you keep your bangs so perfect the entire film?
dude,
I was
actually,
like,
though.
what is going on here?
Oh man, I watched him like a hawk. I was like, "Where's the hairspray? Where's the scissors?" Yeah, bangs are a problem. I don't recommend them, but I love them.
Well,
You have flawless
suit-
bangs.
Yes.
They look great. I
They
love
suit
them.
you.
Thank
They
you,
really
bang
do.
gods.
By surviving hide and seek, you've triggered a new game. This time against the High Council families. Double or nothing. This part will be familiar. They will try to kill you.
Welcome to our home.
Hi, Sarah and Elijah.
Hi.
It is such an honor to meet you both.
Oh,
I
that's
can't even
sweet.
begin.
Thanks.
I feel like when you have a name like Sarah Michelle Gellar and Elijah Wood on your horror film, it's like the biggest stamp of approval that
my God.
holds so
no
much
pressure.
weight.
Jesus,
pressure.
no pressure.
So, how do you guys decide on which horror films to work on, whether it be acting or producing? Like, is there a through line for you?
Yeah, the good ones.
Yeah.
That's a good call.
I mean, yeah, a great script. In this case, it was getting a chance to work with Radio Silence, loving that first film. And it had been 5 to 6 years since they'd made that first movie, so they hadn't kind of rushed out and quickly cobbled together a sequel. And it was very clear that this was something that they'd happened upon an idea that was befitting the original film. And so to be a part of the making of the sequel that sort of honored that first movie was a joy.
And this cast. I mean, we couldn't ask for better people to spend your time with, to be creative with. It was really a dream.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I want to get into your characters because Ursula, she has, she has a plan. She can be a little ruthless, but she also has heart. So how did you get into her mindset, especially when dealing with her brother Titus?
I think twins are such an interesting study because automatically some of your identity is lost. It's not your own. And then to be raised in the shadow of this huge figure who really raised them to keep on his legacy. They never really had any individuality. And throughout this movie, they're discovering who they are, and it's for Ursula, she's discovering she's not who she thought she was. Her brother is definitely not who she thought he was. And what does that do when you feel like this whole foundation of your life is now really shaky?
Absolutely. Well, you played it very well. And Elijah, your character was just so much fun to watch. He's essentially there to explain all of the lore and mythology behind all these various family members. So how deep in the lore did you get? Like, was there a lot to work off of, or were you doing Tolkien-level world building to, like,
Not quite
get into
Tolkien
character?
level. I mean, I think, you know, what he articulates is, so what's on the page was there for me to work with. In terms of how far back it goes and maybe how old the character is, because that seems a bit of a mystery. Like, has he been doing this for centuries? We don't know. Those were just sort of things that we would talk about and think about. But so much of the task at hand and ultimately what he's trying to articulate was there on the page. And it was sort of the challenge, really, in any kind of expositionary position, is to try and keep that alive and not just sort of rote, you know? It's telling rules, trying to do that in a way that is interesting and fun.
It was. Again, you guys pulled off your characters so well.
Thanks.
I want to get into the weapons because I feel like the weapons in Ready or Not and the whole universe are just so fun. So did you get to choose your own weapon?
No, it was funny because Ursula uses a dueling pistol. And I've shot a ton of weapons in my career, but I've never used a dueling pistol. So I had to learn. It wasn't so much like actively shooting it that was tricky for me, but it was the packing of it because there's no automatic dueling pistol. So it was learning how to pack the
Gunpowder, right?
Yeah, the gunpowder.
Yeah.
And then you have to pack it in, then you have to put these pieces in it, and then, that's a lot to go into for one shot.
Totally.
Yeah.
Did it start to feel natural? I mean, it looked natural, but
Yes,
like,
I
how did
had
you...
enough practice at it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then your weapon of choice is essentially Mr. LaBelle's Book of Law. But
Sure.
if you were going to choose a weapon in the movie, which one would you have gone with if you were a part of the
launcher.
hunt?
I mean, you always got to go rocket launcher.
Rocket launcher's pretty good. I don't know, those two double pistols, the double Uzis.
Oh, that the little kid had?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was such
Those
a great
are pretty
moment.
rad.
Yeah, good choice.
Yeah.
Good choice, definitely. Now, you both have played heroes throughout your careers, but is it just more fun to play that unhinged villain?
Oh, always.
Yeah.
I always say, like, as an actor, you're getting to live out other personalities. So you be the personality you'll never be in real life, right?
Totally. The most fun. When you can get away from yourself. And playing villains is just, I don't know, it's fun. If you grow up on horror films and those kinds of characters, getting to sort of embody that is a blast.
Talk about your work with the Radio Silence guys. I know you said that you were a big fan of the first film, and I'm assuming you as well. But
Absolutely.
what is it like working with the both of them and just maybe any creative freedom they give you on set?
I mean, they create an incredibly collaborative environment. They are incredibly enthusiastic. You can really feel that emanate from them. It extends to everybody else on set. I think everyone feels like they are a part of the making of the
They
thing.
create a very good culture on set, which I think in this day and age is one of the most important things in how you can be productive. We had a very quick schedule. It was tight. It was a lot of nights, but you never felt it because they treated everybody with the same dignity, the same respect, and it emanates from them.
Absolutely. Now, somebody else on this film that I think horror fans are just going to lose their minds over is David Cronenberg.
I know.
So for you guys who I consider horror royalty, what was it like to be on set with him, acting with him, and just your reaction to finding out he was going to be in this movie?
I was just so incredibly excited, and he
Same.
was so much more than you could even expect. Like, Sean and I would ask between every take, like, do you have any notes? What did you think? And he'd be like, I'm not the director. I'm just the actor, But of course, we're like, if we have David Cronenberg, we're certainly going to ask him his thoughts. And he was a great storyteller. You could ask him anything, and he would share with you. And he was just one more part of the team. And you really felt that from him.
Did he give you any advice when you asked?
No, he would keep saying it's great.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Yeah.
What
If
about
anything,
you?
yeah, he took his job as an actor seriously, so I think he wanted
Yes,
reinforcement.
I think
you know what
he
I mean?
did too, yeah.
Absolutely.
It was so sweet.
Yes, yes. Well, I'm in the presence of an OG Scream Queen, so I want to give the flowers also to our new Scream Queens, Kathryn and Samara. What was it like being with them and sort of like a passing of the torch in a way?
Look, I don't know about passing of the torch, but I love working with talented people and creative people and nice people. And I mean, the three of us and everybody included, like it was such a wonderful, like, I also think Matt and Tyler could be matchmakers.
Oh, yeah.
Because they put together a cast that not only liked working together, but really enjoyed each other's company and to this day still enjoy. And that's rare.
Totally.
Clear.
You guys, you did it with this sequel. It was so much fun. What made you want to come back into this world and explore more of the mythology from the first?
I mean, I think there were so many things, but I think the driving force behind us coming back was really the chance to work with Samara again, and the writers again, and the producers again. I feel like that core team, you know, Grace, the only surviving member of the first movie, and then us, the team that had worked so tirelessly to build that first movie. The idea that this little thing that we hoped we would someday get to make became a thing that people really responded to, and that there was enough buzz and interest in it that we would even conceive of getting to make a sequel was such a crazy dream. And when we returned to it, 7 years later, it just felt like we were putting on like a comfortable pair of slippers. We sort of fell into the routine of designing the story with Sam and Guy and Ryan and Jamie and Tripp so effortlessly. And if it wasn't for those relationships, this movie would have been impossible to make because it was a real gauntlet making it. It was the hardest movie we've ever made, and I think that it only worked because the original team all locked arms and were like, look, we have to make it as good or better than the first one. And that was sort of the mantra, and at some point you start believing it, and then at some point you think, oh, maybe we've actually achieved it.
We'll let people decide.
As an audience, I definitely think you did. I had a blast watching
Oh,
it.
thank you. That means so much.
Yeah. So how much has the blood budget increased over the years for you guys?
Significantly.
Yeah.
We recently talked to our effects guys on this, and it's 325 gallons were used
Wow.
in this movie, which is a lot.
What did they say, 140 in the final event alone?
Yeah, it was a lot, and Abigail was a lot as well. But I think it's gone up, and we have more fun with it now because we get a little more comfortable with it. We're like, oh, we can get crazy. How can we, blow shit up? No pun intended.
Yeah.
But like, and so on this one, it was a lot of blood.
Wow. Is there ever such thing as too much blood or like a limit? No.
There's not. I'm hesitating.
There isn't. There is. I think that there always. I think when it comes to violence and just like the gore and all of that, we do always shoot the most extreme version of things, knowing that we'll want the footage because you want to be able to make that choice when you see the movie as a whole. It's hard when you're just dropping into a scene, particularly when you're dropping into a scene with like very little sleep and the previous day is like still in your head because it's just blended. They all start to blend together. It's important to like gather as much material on the comedy side and the genre side as possible so that in the edit you have the ability to ultimately kind of design the tone and the experience to be what feels right.
Well, it was just right, just like Goldilocks said. You guys got the right amount.
Amazing.
Something that I really enjoyed in the movie was the watch party that was going on with like the younger siblings and the other family members. It just made me feel like it's like the audience was a part of the film. So was that intentional, or what was the idea behind the watch party?
I think that for us was it just heightens the absurdity, where it's like there's this horrible game of death happening out there. And then there's people like eating Mike and Ike's and having drinks.
Yeah.
And there's something so horrific about that and funny. And that's kind of the tone of the movie in a nutshell.
Yeah.
So I think, to be fair, like when we were shooting it, we were like, okay, we know this is going to work, but we're going to have to really find this in the edit. And it was a lot of work to kind of, gauge like, okay, is it too much here? Is it too much here? And how do you create that balance so that when you cut to the watch party, it's like almost a breath of fresh air, and you're like, oh my God, I can take a breath.
Yeah.
Holy shit. But it's still going on, and then those worlds collide, and that's kind of like the fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I remember too talking about how there was a worry that, oh man, when we cut back to the club room, is it gonna just like kill the tension and the pace? And I mean, it's a testament to Dan and Varun and Masha and Tony and Elijah, like those characters that are in that space, that they're able to keep it alive, and that the tone very much is like different, right, in the club room than it is on the playing field. Is I mean, there's like some of our favorite moments, performance and story-wise, take place in that room and have very little to do with like the immediate stakes of the hunt.
Yeah, I think everyone's going to enjoy it. It was a blast to watch for sure. You guys kind of touched on this a little bit with working with Samara again, and then this is, of course, Kathryn's second time working with you. So what was the vibe like on set between the four of you when you have that kind of secondhand experience, and then how were they interacting together?
I mean, it was great. It was, I like, honestly, it was one of our best
experiences. That we were working a lot of the time because it was just so much fun.
Well, because they're just so funny, and they're so funny together. And so it is like, you're like, it's not a joke. It would be like, oh, guys, we have to work. Like, we're just making jokes and having a good time. But there's like, you know, you make something with somebody, and especially those two, and you do create like a real bond and a shorthand and a way of working together. And so you're going into it together. It's like, let's go do this. And it's very collaborative, and it's very fun. And I think one of the really like special highlights for us for this whole movie is that they became friends. You know, like it was, because we really loved Sam from, you know, we had made 2 movies with her, and then we loved Kathryn, and we're like, oh, we just want to see them together. And we like literally sort of parent trapped them and took them out to dinner one night after a screening, and it was like we were kind of like watching them become friends, and you know, it's like they're just the best.
That's so cool. It's funny because they said that you guys could be like matchmakers. It's like kind of finding people that go well together. And then speaking with, you know, the other cast members, they just praised you for how free they feel on set. So is there any like rule that you guys give each other before a production starts of like, no matter what's going on, we want to feel like this?
I think that there are really specific things that are like non-negotiable for us in terms of like what we know we need for the story to be interesting, emotional, scary, like all of those things. We're really clear with each other and with our department heads in the production about what we know we have to achieve. But I think how we get there is for us where the real fun and the real collaboration lives. And I think the thing that we have learned and we have continued to get better at is to you just gotta like listen to people when they are giving you and telling you that they have an idea and that they're talented enough to like make it work. Some of the best, most wonderful choices that happen in all of our projects are things that are discovered in the moment when you're having a conversation with somebody who's really brilliant at their job and they're telling you like, I want to try this thing because I feel this way. I think a lot of people would maybe find like, oh no, that's not what I was thinking, and so we don't have time. And instead, we're like, no, but what if it's great? And I think when you start collecting those moments and stacking them on top of each other, you start to build an experience that feels really lived in, and it starts to make all of these characters in the ensemble, big and small, feel like they're real characters and they have a real reason for being in the movie. And that sort of has just become, and we learned that with Sam on the first Ready or Not. Like that collaboration was really instrumental in us, you know, like figuring out how to listen differently in the process.
Absolutely. I have so many more questions for you, but it is time for me to wrap up. I do want to ask though, what's the blood budget looking like on The Mummy? Because we're so excited for it. Anything you could tease with Brendan and Rachel?
I think the rating is probably gonna put a bit of a cap on the blood budget, but that's okay. We're actually like really excited to like make a big swashbuckling action adventure romance, which is essentially what it is.